So another day and another Indian victory. At the moment, the Indian team can do no wrong. It's shining as bright as the Dubai skyline that you see behind me. This was a crucial game nonetheless. A victory would have taken India to the finals, and now they have reached the finals. The only undefeated team so far in the tournament. That record continues, that juggernaut continues to roll in what is probably, I think many would debate, but I'd say without any debate, the best T20 team in the world. That's how dominant this Indian team is, and that is exactly what they showed against Bangladesh, qualifying for the Asia Cup final. Why do I say that? Well, look at that record now. Since the start of 2024 till now, about a year and a half, India's record in T20I reads 33-3. 33 wins and only 3 losses. And this win once again versus Bangladesh, which is a big margin of 41 runs, is, you'd have to say, a one-sided encounter. And this despite the fact that India only managed a total of 168. That seemed to be very dicey. That seemed to be a total that many thought Bangladesh could chase, because remember, the same total Bangladesh had chased against the Sri Lankan team to register their first win in Super 4. But this is not the Sri Lankan team. This wasn't the Sri Lankan bowling lineup. What is it that this Indian team has achieved? We'll try and break this down in my match report, which is coming to you live from Dubai. And I think the first positive for India is that, and what this game has proved, that Jasprit Bumrah and Kuldeep Yadav are 2 bowlers, 2 match winners that can't have too many off days. Jasprit Bumrah had that off day versus Pakistan, but as he proved in this game, off days are rare with a talent like Bumrah. That's exactly what you saw with him. And again, Kuldeep Yadav, who started this tournament with great performances in the first 2 games that he played, then had a bit of a dip in that game versus Pakistan, is back to his best again, picking up 3 wickets. So every time these 2 bowlers are firing for India, more often than not, they are going to win any match that they play. Now, question could be asked about the Indian batting lineup, and I'll try and break that down. Firstly, about 168. Now listen, when we look at 168, many might say, oh, this was a below par total, but let's not forget, maybe this was still an above par total, keeping in mind the conditions. Why do I say the condition? Look at what happened to Pakistan that day. Started with a great performance, great impetus, but then had a dip later after the 10th over. Ditto for the Indian team. 100 runs in the first 10 over, 68 odd after that. So clearly this pitch tends to deteriorate in the second half, and no matter who you are, you will have to respect the conditions, and maybe that's where the dip for the Indian team comes. But because conditions weren't great for batting, they showed you, because when Bangladesh came out to bat, they fell 41 runs short. So maybe if you keep that in mind, maybe the Indian performance wasn't as bad as many were thinking in the mid innings. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Now, 2 other aspects of this Indian batting. One, which I think you should not be worried about. One, I think there is reasonable reason to be worried about. The first aspect that I don't think you need to worry about is the rotation or the shuffling. I know many people are criticizing this at the moment, that what is the need to shuffle? Why is Shivam Dube at 3? Why is Sanju Samson being pushed to number 8? Why do you have to make so many changes? It will bite you one day. Well, I look at it differently. Listen, I think this Indian team is chasing excellence. They're chasing excellence in T20 cricket, which is evident from their record as well, how good they have been. And when you chase excellence, you have to have a batting order that can be shuffled, where each batter can bat at any position. Each batter is capable of changing gears. He is capable of being a number 3 batter and also a finisher at number 6. Specialist is, I think, gone past. The way T20I cricket is moving, that you need your best batters to be in the team. Each of them can win you a game single-handedly, no matter in which situation they come. And it's not just this game, and you can't argue with India's approach. As I told you the record at the start, 33 wins, only 3 losses. Clearly they're doing a few things right, and this shuffling is part of that reason, where they like to keep left hand, right hand. They want to prepare everyone. Even Akshar can go at 3 and 4 and win you the game. Even a Sanju, who batted at number 3 a couple of games ago, can also be pushed to number 8, and yet they will win. I think this is what Indian team is trying to achieve, and I don't think it's a bad thing. On occasion they might falter, but I think you need to back a team, and the proof is in the performances that they've given so far. So that's the bit about shuffling that doesn't worry me. The one thing that is worrying me a bit is, Can India continue to win and post these match-winning totals, whether batting first or chasing it down, when Abhishek Sharma doesn't fire? Because at the moment in batting, Abhishek Sharma has been the X factor for India. What happens on that rare day that he fails? Does this Indian batting inspire confidence that they can set a above par total and they can chase any total down? That I think is a valid question. We'll know the answer. I know cricket is a team game. It has enough batters till 8. Each of them can win you a game, and on occasion if needed, if Abhishek doesn't fire, maybe Gill will. Tilak has shown some form. Sky hasn't performed the last few games but had a good outing earlier as well. Sanju got some runs versus Oman, so maybe somebody else needs to step up, but that will be the true test of this Indian batting lineup, maybe against Sri Lanka, maybe in the final, that if Abhishek doesn't fire, what happens to the Indian batting lineup? I think that's a valid concern that India can look at. The other bit that you can see, and I think which Indian team really needs to work on, is fielding, and that is neutral to any conditions, that is neutral to any situation, batting, bowling, anything. I think that has been worrying now in 2 games in a row. And I could look at a technical reason, like sometimes the lights really come into your eyes and so on and so forth, but that's not what was happening today. I think the 2 catches that were dropped, in fact 3 I felt, one with Bumrah could have taken that catch of Saif as well early on when he was in short fine leg, but I think he wasn't ready, he reacted a bit too late, so that's something that's not condition specific, maybe a bit more awareness. That drop catch by Shivam Dube, I think that was again lack of awareness, that calling wasn't great. Hardik also going for that catch, Shivam Dube going for the catch, I think miscommunication. This is something that you need to work on. It has nothing to do with the condition. And even that third catch that Sanju Samson dropped, I think he misjudged it. He realized it at the last moment that he was 2 steps behind where he should have been. So these are things that are not specific to the ground or lights or anything. These are basic things which are going wrong, which I'm sure the Indian team will need to work on. Abhishek, you saw, took a catch today. He worked on it in the fielding. Maybe the rest of the team also needs to get their act together. So that's how the Indian team performed. What that has done is set up a virtual semi-final between Bangladesh and Pakistan. Unfortunately for Bangladesh, they'll have to play this game 20 hours after leaving this stadium. In 20 hours, they'll be bowling the first ball of the next game. So turnaround time is very less for them. For them, they will need a Litton Das to be fit and be brought back. Today, an experience of Litton Das was clearly missing. There was no one to give company to Saif and ensure that this chase carried on. So they will be sweating over his fitness. But if I was to pick one team to win between Bangladesh and Pakistan, it'll be a close call, I agree. But I would say that Pakistan is slightly better placed than Bangladesh is, because this defeat and the turnaround time being very less for Bangladesh might be a bit demoralizing for them, and Pakistan, having won their last game, will come with full confidence. Of course, the extra initiative or the extra motivation that they will get will also come from the fact that India is waiting at the final and they definitely want to play India. So that's a virtual semi-final. I think Pakistan start favourite for that. India, on the other hand, the game versus Sri Lanka, they could rest a few players, try a few different things. It's going to be of no consequences. But if you ask me, I would want India not to make any changes. Stick to this 11. Some of them are rusty. They'll get back into form, playing a non-pressure game, if I can call it that. So if they play that, play your best 11. Let them get into rhythm, the rest of the batters, and your bowlers who's doing well, like for example, many might say rest Bumrah. I'm saying no, he's getting back into rhythm. Keep him like a well-oiled machine. Let him continue playing, and that I think would be the best strategy for the Indian team. So that's that in my match report. Bangladesh versus India. India through to the finals. Give us a like on the video if you're enjoying our content. For the moment, Nikhil Naz signing off for Sports Today in Dubai.